Hello, fashion fans. Hello, everybody in my following of everything. All the friends of my father, Alan Frank Bastable. You know who he was, really. He was a great dad to me. I want you to do what he said you should do in the event of his leaving the planet. I'm interested in doing everything I said I was going to do. But now I'm calling in all the friendships and the care from my father's previous contacts. Everybody in the model industry, radio controlled model industry. I want everything. Now I've come up with this thing called the bat float. The idea is for it to take off of land. Somebody's put a great idea with a aircraft departure thingy. Well, I got the idea of having the float so it goes into the water. It's going to be a pylon racer, but it's going to be an intermediate model. We need to do all the power training models because we're going to do within noise abatement. But I've got a great idea for a V12 engine, a scale model. Now, what's the name with the Thunderbolt plane? I bet you if somebody liked model aircrafts that never had anything to do with model aircrafts in the United States. Now, I've got a little, you know who the world champion of aerobatic display stunts is? He's a Canadian guy. His father taught him how to fly. He's an airline pilot, and he lived in a place called Botley, England, on Oxford. The Port Meadow Field in Oxford was where the first Royal Air Force air landing strip was in about 1908 or something like that. It was used during the First World War and it was used in the Second World War. Even Spitfires flew off of that field. So here it is. Calling everybody that loves my interests. That's all the brands, everything, trucks as well. We're doing model aircraft. We're going to teach our children how not to be involved in all that horrible media crap. We're going out model aircraft flying. The pylon floats aircraft will be great if we can find a lake. They're noise abatement. Now, we start with one motor, electric. The floats are going to hold all the Tesla energy systems from the great Tesla in the past, not the modern crap. The theory of Tesla, Watts, Joules, all the great names. It's all going in there with primary, not having that horrible spaceship, yeah? And we're going to go for two motors for the advanced, one motor for intermediate learning. Somebody's got to continue to make all the hand flights with their electric band flyers and everything to get the little kids involved. Everybody goes out doing model aircraft at the weekend whilst we're not doing motorsports, eh? Yeah? But the trucking industry needs something to move stuff around. So avoid all the snarl-ups of these people that want to do new conflict defense crap. Avoid that like the plague. They're insane. Yeah? The economy needs to just be more time at the beach, brilliant education, fantastic healthcare, cheaper fuel, none of that electric poo. Yeah? So I like the model aircraft. Remember the little boxes and everything they used to do with the control panels and the little gauges and the fuel pump? We're doing 4-stroke V12. But I can't remember what the Thunderbolt has. It's a radial engine, isn't it? Well, somebody, let's make one of them as well, with a supercharger on it as well. It's supercharger on the other one, on the V12, a copy of the Merlin, but without all the Merlin internals. Noise abatement, the V12, right, on a throttle device. Now I've thought about this. You know the side exits where the exhaust comes out on. I want to do a Hurricane, not a Spitfire, Hurricane, and I want that to come out the side. But what I thought about is having a V12 engine with a double block where the exhaust goes in and down to a separate exhaust modelling aircraft standard. I'm wondering what the capacity would be for this V12. You know, it's 27 litre in scale. I mean, it's going to be a really small glow fuel piston and common rod assembly. So what about cheating with the drive, the crankshaft, cheating with some sort of something to move the pistons up and down, goes on a woggle, and then that turns the waffle and out goes the power and the supercharger gets, so it's really going to be a really fast reciprocating piston engine. V12 supercharged. Do you see what I mean about the exhaust? It don't go straight out through the side, it goes into a separate block down to an exhaust pipe silencer and then back out as side trumpets. So it look like a Hurricane or a Spitfire or a Lancaster exhaust pipe, because they're straight out the pipes, aren't they? They don't have any exhaust pipes. But right, full throttle, that goes fully muffled at full throttle. All you can hear is a sort of a lower sort of noise, and when you do a fly past, you bring the engine revs down and the throttle drops off, and then a valve opens up and goes straight through, out, missing the silencer, but straight through both halves of it, out the side. I would copyright it, but what's the point? I would trademark it, but I haven't got a trade name. But all my dad's friends know who he was. And your aircrafts that go spying on everything and all that, well, that was done through the forces, through a secret department to do with reconnaissance. Do you know who my dad was? So anyway, there isn't anybody else in my family that I can trust. They're all a waste of time and useless users, and I just can't stand. I can't stand them. They're always bad mouthing me. Sister's just as bad, not bad. So anyway, that's that, innit? But if I want to be caring about them, they can't help having their little illnesses. Bless them. I'm a fully qualified mental health care. Have I told you that before? Have I told you my tummy hurts me sometimes? Somebody wasn't there when I needed them. Never mind. Bad mouthed. They knew I was abroad. They all knew, because they speak to other like, have you heard what he's doing now? Warning to anybody that wants to be a friend of me, my siblings are fucking horrible to me. They're horrible. Putting food poisoning in food poisoning isn't enough. They're horrible. I can't stand them. The day that I don't see them is a day soon too late. Ever again. They steal all my friends' contacts, they do it all, they do the whole job on me. They do impersonations of Donald Trump and all this sort of stuff. And they give everything to Elon Musk's crooked friends. Science. Leaks through the Labour Party. So anybody, now, kidding aside everybody, I says I'm right, they deserve it. No, I wouldn't hate this on my worst enemy. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family, can you? They're that bad, honestly. They would have been behind something horrible, doing something horrible, when I do something good all the time. My brother said to me once, "You going to be good or bad?" I said, "I'm going to be good." He said, "I'm going to be bad. I'm going to steal your life." My dad walked in and said, "I heard that. I heard you." What's he mean, Dad? What's he mean? We'd been watching Count of Monte Cristo. My brother's got a different name. The C-U-N-T of Monte Cristo. Yeah, he's just a pain. He lies all the time. I don't care, David. Get lost. Is that right? Did you tell your wife that you'd never be homeless and you would never ever be homeless? Did you tell her that? That you would just go and find another woman and get her pregnant and you'd never be homeless? Did you tell them all that? Oh, I don't know whether you did or not. That is not good, David. Shut the fuck up. Yeah? Non-molestation order. It is undelivered because you did a trick with your illegally built lodge in your garden. But they didn't know it was there. Did you get anything over that land registry for 55 Netherwoods Road? Did you manage to rip off the next people that you sold it to? You said that the mortgage company could never ever take it off you, and I said that's not legal. You're still not good, are you? But then you attacked me when I had my air conditioning company. And you also told me about a woman that was stabbed to death, and you was a witness, didn't you? I never believed you. So I know you're lying about that as well. I've never told anybody about it, David. But apparently when I was doing my business, you came to me and told me that you had to go to court as a witness for somebody that had stabbed a woman that was pregnant. And she died. Barton, Oxford. What was that all about? Shut the fuck up. Where's my car gone, David? Without prejudice. I'm a fully qualified mental health carer. And what you did in Oxford the last time, and you sent your wife to meet me at a bus stop last week, and she did the most ridiculous thing, trying to intimidate an argument. Do you know I'm a fully qualified mental health carer, Sue? How's the bookbinders? Watch out if they're in there. Their family lives over the road, don't they? Shall I expect a police person to come round to my door? You don't receive this very well. Is that right? So what did you say to the Abingdon College behind my back then? Is that right? So anyway, girls and guys, gals and girls, and boys and boys, I've got nothing to do with them. Now the modelling club, everybody, don't worry about it. If he turns up, just ignore it, yeah? Because he will try. He lives in Wolvercote, doesn't he? Just ignore it. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. Sorry. So the bat float, I want to take that off the ground so it runs on a lake. We can't use rivers, but we're going to put 2 wheels at the front and a gimbal steerer on the back so it will land correctly. That's the idea. I think 2 scale models. I want to do a Hurricane and the Thunderbolt. Great models, great models. I don't want to do a Mustang. I don't want to do a Mustang. I don't want to do a Mustang, even though that's my call sign and that's what they call me. Red Indians in America call me Mustang. Yeah, my dad told me when he was in the service. My dad said to me, can you try and look after him? Can you make sure he... But where's my house and my car, David? I didn't like what you said to me outside the sewing machine shop. And why did you turn up there? I'd been told you'd never been there ever before. And now the police told me. Sorry, I didn't get a number of the badge, but the police told me. So everybody that's got all the modelling shops, still do it as you've all got the retail and everything and supply. And I need somebody to supply me the balsa wood for the kits out of all you lot. And all of this turning stuff for the servos, the cables and everything from you lot. And I'll make the engines. But I will do a free license for all the engine manufacturers in the modelling world to copy it. For the modelling world. And sorry everybody, my brother's caused me a lot of problems over the last few years, and so's the other one. Adrian's been a lot of problems. I've not heard anything of Janine, but Janine's husband walked up to me in the shop, saw me, never acknowledged me. I said, hey Kevin, hi. Oh, I see you now. What the fuck was that? Weird. But he's a Triumph fan, isn't he? He's not an MG guy, but I'm really a Jaguar guy. So my friend that I worked with worked for the Jaguar racing team, Le Mans. I worked with him. My friend that I worked with used to work for the Austin Rover race team, the 6R4. I worked with him. My friend that I worked with, that worked on the MG Sebring from 1967, I worked with him as well. Been a nightmare, my family. They all have problems. Yeah. At least I stopped at one divorce. So that's what I want to do. Good luck everybody. Disclaimer, police force, if your phone's up again, can you just say that's domestic? And why didn't you receive your non-molestation order? Because he was hiding in the lodge, in the back garden that's not even registered with the land registry. You faked the whole thing. Nobody came round to check the planning permission. He lied. And he caused me a lot of trouble at university as well. Especially when the wings of Airbus were being manufactured by somebody from Brooks University. The guy that I knew was overlooking the science of the wings on Airbus 380. I had to walk in and say that I'm sorry, but of course they were scared of him because he was shouting at them at the top of his voice. Oh dear David, you've been an absolute nightmare. Bye.